Come and hear a story with me. Love who you want to be, who you are. Learn these lessons and we'll go far. It's story time. Story time. Story time with Mama G. Hello everybody, Mama G here, and I thought I would share with you my story, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Roar. Now, before I tell you the story, I need to teach you some actions, and they're to quite a familiar nursery rhyme, but it does take a little Mama G twist, so don't get too comfortable. So, the actions go like this. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar. Very nice, let's try that one. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar. And we'll carry on. How I love you more and more. Let's try that one all together. How I love you more and more. Oh, wonderful. Now let's put those two together. Here we go. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar. How I love you more and more. Very good. Let's carry on. Up above the sky so high, you're the apple of my eye. Let's try that one. Up above the sky so high, you're the apple of my eye. And then we go back to the beginning. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar. How I love you more and more. Oh, very good. Now, who thinks we might be brave enough to try it with some music? Yep, should we give it a go? Hands at the ready. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar. How I love you more and more. Up above the sky so high, you're the apple of my eye. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar. How I love you more and more. Oh, very good. Give yourselves a round of applause. Oh, and I will take a smattering of that for myself. You see, I do really only do it for the applause. Now, I think you are ready for the story. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar. Little Roar was a dinosaur, the smallest you could imagine. But he wasn't terribly fearsome though, which was terribly out of fashion. And he wasn't really called Little Roar. He was really called T-Rex. But rather than bite and tear things apart, he liked to cuddle other T-Rex's necks. And some dinos thought this funny. They thought him really strange. They thought, you can't be cute, you dummy, else the history books must change. But our tiny dino friend thought nothing of it for a while. He'd bounce and skip and jump and hop. Being cute and half make you smile. And Mummy Rex did her best to ensure that Little Roar never found out his nickname was mean. She'd sing him a rhyme every time the truth came close to being seen. And I think you all know how that rhyme goes, except this time we're dinosaurs. Here we go, hands at the ready. Very nice. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar. How I love you more and more. Up above the sky so high, you're the apple of my eye. Twinkle, twinkle, little roar. How I love you more and more. But as Little Roar grew up, the name grew with him too. And soon it wasn't just a name. It was who he was to boot. He became quiet, shy, and by the by, the other dinos never saw him. In fact, he became so invisible, you couldn't even say that they ignored him. But Mummy Rex wasn't worried. She knew he was her little star. And she knew that sometimes it takes a little time to work out who you are. Well, years went by and nothing happened. Then one day, just like that, a new T-Rex family moved in next door, and the mum wore outrageous hats. Little Raw swore he had never seen anything so delightful. Mummy Rex wasn't keen. She thought them obscene. In fact, she thought them frightful. But there was no denying these hats were a millinery miracle in action. They'd unleashed something in Little Raw. You could say a millinery passion. He spent hours recreating all the hats his neighbour would have on. And then he'd host a fashion show and invite the other dinosaurs along. Some would come to laugh and point, and some would take their mickey. But some would find that very soon getting in was very tricky. And after a while, Little Raw realised, well, he no longer heard the other dinos snigger. Thanks to his neighbour and her funny hats, his Little Raw was getting bigger. And his hats became so popular, he opened a store that bore his name. The hats went flying off the shelves. Little Raw had a claim to fame. Oh, now the lady dinos loved his hats, but the men were much less keen. Little Raw wore them, of course, but pause. What does he just see? At the latest fashion show, something amazing has just happened. A boy Rex has walked in wearing a hat, and it's one that Little Raw fashioned. Well, of course they talk and have a chat. And of course the talk is all about hats. They smile and laugh and have a little flirt. Well, why not? Flirting never hurts. And Mummy Rex is watching. Oh, she can't believe what she is seeing. But gosh, it makes her proud. Who ever thought that one day her Little Raw would roar so loud? She sees him there fully formed, finally knowing who he is. He's the star that she had born, but all the burning bright is his. And now the name Little Raw has faded. Oh, it's faded, oh so far. Because when you work out who you are, you'll twinkle, twinkle like a star. And I think one more time, just for Little Raw. Here we go, hands at the ready. Twinkle, twinkle, little Raw, how I love you more and more. Up above the sky so high, you're the apple of my eye. Twinkle, twinkle, little Raw, how I love you more and more. Oh, how lovely. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to check out the rest of my YouTube videos and find me on Facebook and Instagram at Mama G Stories. Bye! It's story time with Mama G. Come and hear a story with me. Love who you want to be, who you are. Learn these lessons and we'll go far. It's story time. Story time. Story time with Mama.